Alright, these are GHG green headgear decoys harvester pack mallards with the 60/40 keel, and these are just these aren't the January mallards. These are the regular mallards. Because here in Wisconsin, we usually don't need the January mallards, but until later in the season, you get for the pack. You get 5 feeders, 2 null head, and then 3 surface feeder. And then for the rester pack, you get 2 resters, 2 sleepers. And then for the active pack, you get 2 swivel heads, the hen, and then the top drake. And then the middle drake is fixed. You can't move the head. And I got these off Max. And Nathan Bender from Wisconsin, from Lake Geneva, had this photo on the front page. Congrats to him. And these are for the pack. I didn't get the bag or anything, so I just got the $139 one. That's just the decoys unrigged. But now Green Headgear GHG has the pre-rigged, which is 40 inches of line with 4 ounces of weight, or egg weights. They're Texas rigged, like Tony Vandemore has them pulling behind them. GHGs are by far the best. I don't know, Avian X is starting to come out with some good ones too now, but I'm sticking with GHG because I like Avery brand things, like the ASD for the dog training, and Green Headgear by Avery, and then just Avery things like their flags, their gun cases, everything, their bags, their calling lanyards, everything. But this is kind of a decoy review slash decoy tips. I'll do a review and then I'll do the tips. So for this is the skimmer. It has a 60/40 keel. Some people, I question if they're really that smart because they don't get what the 60/40 keel is. Obviously, you see a thicker end. And 60 plus 40 is 100%. So you see a thicker part and then a thinner part. Obviously the 60 part's up front and the thinner part's in the back. There's 100% keel, but 60% is up front, 40 is in the back. And ducks, they ride kind of, they're not like Dakota decoys where they're like, their butt's way up here and it just doesn't even look realistic. I hate Dakotas. But the mallards kinda dip down a little because all ducks, they ride their butts in the air just a little bit, not much, not like Dakotas where it's exaggerated by far, but they ride butt up in the air a little bit, and their nose are from their breast, because ducks are heavy up front, so their breast is in the front, so they're gonna ride farther down in the front, and that's how the Green Headgear GHG came up with the 60/40 keel, because they figured after watching all the ducks actually swim, most of their body weight is up front, so they're going to ride farther down in the water up front. So, but I like the quality. The plastic on this one is kind of flexible. This one is flexible right here. This one's flexible right here. It's not hard plastic, like rigid. It's kind of flexible, so if you do drop it, it won't crack. So because if you don't have it, if you can't let something flex, it will crack if it's plastic. So you kind of have to make it pliable in a way that'll flex and it'll absorb the energy of the shock, so it won't crack. But here's the skimmer, they call it. Has a blue wing patch, the curls, 60-40 keel. I put my name on the bottom, and it's real. It's realistic. It has some purple on the top, and then by the eye, you can kind of see where it's dark. That's all purple, basically. The back looks realistic. Just everything looks realistic on these decoys. I only found a couple things wrong, like with the rester. That's kind of not painted, but you can go over that if you want to paint it. I won't bother with it. And these are pretty nice decoys. For $139 plus $37, you get a dozen. I'm gonna get probably 3 dozen. I'm gonna get another dozen, and then later in the season I'll probably buy some GHG Pro Grade black ducks for later in the season when the black ducks start coming down, and start mixing with the mallards. Because in Wisconsin and southeastern Wisconsin, we've been getting some black ducks now. That recently, in the past 2-3 years, we've been seeing some black ducks coming through. So I'll probably get a harvester pack of those, Pro Grade. And these are pretty nice decoys. Avian X, I don't know. I might switch over. I don't know. Probably not. I might buy, or I might go to Cabela's and see how they actually look. But I'm gonna stick with the GHGs by far. The resters are by far my best, cause in the front they look so realistic. Cause this is where the neck would be. This is the neck coming around. They didn't just make it a front. They didn't take a front like that and then just swing the head around. They went the extra mile to actually bulge up the right side, or the left side if you want to call it, and actually make it look like the neck swung around and then the head's fixed underneath the wings. These guys go the extra mile to get good decoys out for us. And my friend even said that, well, he's like, you don't really need the expensive decoys, because he's like, back in the day they used to use like the crappy HGH or something like that decoys. And I said, yeah, but now, I said, like snow geese, those birds get, the wary ones, the older geese are higher up in the tornado, I guess you want to call it. Those birds can live a long time and they see a lot of decoys. And I said, birds are getting smarter throughout the more we get hunting them. They get smarter and smarter, and some of them last a long time, and they can see the changes throughout the season. And I said, you need the most realistic decoys. But we got some scraping on the head, but ducks, they're not gonna notice. They're gonna notice the decoy if it's not painted all the way, if it's not done, but they're not gonna notice that on the top, unless they're landing right next to it. But if they're landing right next to it, you're gonna be taking them. You're gonna be shooting them. And yeah, we got, for the actives, we got a swivel head. I'll probably make some looking straight, acting like a swimmer, and then have some turned like this, so it looks like it's looking off to the side and stopped. The hen was a swivel head, but then I glued it because it wasn't really the hole that they made in there. The heads do come off, so the hole that they made in there was too big for the head, so the head kept swinging whenever it would be in the water. And so I put some wood glue in there, and I must have put too much because now I can't swing it. So, but oh well, I got another 2 dozen of these coming. So, but now for the decoy tips. Later in the season, you want well, this is how migration goes. Early season, whenever the opening day is, it's usually all your local birds up until, at least for Wisconsin, up until middle of October, late October. Then that's when we start seeing the birds, really. And other than that, it's real local birds. There might be a small push, like 2 pushes from the cold fronts coming down through, but usually it's all late season. And it's usually late season when we see most of our birds come down, especially the mallards. Like I said, the black ducks are starting to come through. We already heard people shooting pintails down by us. So there's new birds coming through later in the season. And later in the season, you want bigger decoy spreads, especially if there's a migration that day, because those birds are looking for a place to set down, or they're already there and they know there's a lot of birds in the area. You're not going to throw out a dozen of mallards and expect a big flock to come in. You want bigger decoy spreads, and especially if the birds have been hunted a lot, bigger decoy spreads are the ticket, because they know there's more ducks there. It's safer if there's more ducks there, and they just feel comfortable landing by more ducks. And basically that's it. And also get a variety of ducks. Like we have green winged teal, blue winged teal, woodies. We're gonna probably get gadwall like in October, and then I'm gonna get black ducks, and then we're gonna get some divers for late season too. But you just have a variety out there. Just don't have mallards out there, because that really, if you have a variety out there, it seems like it's more realistic. It's not, oh, there's only mallards here. There's other ducks around. But for another decoy tip, have some of them tied off in the back like this, because not all ducks, unless they're gonna take off, not all ducks face into the wind. And some of them face downwind. It looks more realistic. And also with the feeders, put the feeders on the jerk strings. We at least run 1 or 2 jerk strings, or we will be running 2 jerk strings. Right now we only have 1. But you put the feeders on there because these heads, when you tie them in the front on the rig 'em right jerk string, the head dips down in the water and splashes more water than if you put an active on there or a rester. You should not put resters on a jerk string, because resters, when they're resting, they should not be moving. They should just be sitting there resting, like they're called resters. So that's basically it. If you have 2 dozen or less decoys, don't try to make a U shape. You can make a U shape or a J shape, but put them in separate packs. Like for a U shape, you put them in separate packs, but a J shape, I don't really use the different shapes based on the wind, because usually you want to put the wind to your back, and if it's a crosswind, I do not usually hunt it. So whenever it's in the back, I usually have 3 pockets, or like have 3 over in this corner. They're just all spread out. They're not, there's landing areas, but they're not, you don't make a exact U. You kind of make a U, but it's not all combined into one spread. We might put 1 or 2 active swimming through, but other than that, it's just not really realistic if you make a letter U out there. Unless you have a bigger spread. Bigger spreads, you can notice that they make different shapes for landing, and then you'll notice that birds come in those pockets. Like on the U, they come right up the middle. On the J, they hug the shoreline and come in. And that's why whenever you have the J, you put the J farther out, and then those birds come right up in the side and up closer. Because that's usually what you use for diver hunting, is a J. So that's basically it about the greenhead gear. GHG Pro Grade mallards. Order from Max. They're the cheapest. Free shipping over $125, which is nice because these are over $125. So it saves you on money. Like if you go to Cabela's, they're gonna charge you no matter what for shipping. Just get everything from Max. It's way cheaper. They ship within 3 days up to the northern states because they're down in Arkansas. Best decoy company around is GHG. So good luck this season, and hope these tips and these decoys help.